Shalom, all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect Akim that teaching this word. Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Now, as you can see here, it's another social media video, and basically, this man's talking about still eating aquatic cockroaches in 2026, basically talking about shrimp, crabs and lobsters. And basically that is an abomination. The information's out there now that, what the Lord said in the scriptures not to eat, information's now out there that basically, we ain't meant to be messing with shit like that. But you still got our people, heavily into eating these things. If it ain't the swine's flesh, it's lobster and prawns and and Esau. You see, the elites of Edom know this shit is off, and they're making money off you, man. Marketing it as fine dining and all that. To go to a fine dining restaurant, eat a lobster, etc. You're not supposed to be eating all this stuff, man. It's abominations, and it's actually in the scriptures. But again, our people, they're in that defiled state. 2/3 of our people are in a defiled state, and they keep eating this mess, man. The same way the swine's flesh is, the pig is basically the dustbin of the earth. It has its purpose. The bottom feeder animals in the sea, crustaceans and whatnot, they have their purpose. They're basically dustbins of the sea. All right? They're dustbins of the sea, man. So let me play this here, and I'm going to read some scriptures. But this is another reason why a lot of our people are sick. You got a lot of our people with a lot of health problems, in America and all over the world. And it's mainly due to diet. The health problems mainly due to diet, all right? If it ain't diets high in sugar, it's diets high in abominable foods, man, which adds parasites to your body even more than you have already. Cancers and all types of poisons. These foods, these so-called foods, which they're not food, these so-called animals which you ain't meant to be eating, adds to your body, man. So let me play this here, and then I'm gonna read some scriptures.
Yeah, you gotta be eating shrimp and prawn, knowing that they're in the same family and that they're basically underwater cockroach. You're eating aquatic cockroach, man. You're like a fucker, you man. Wash yourself, man. You fucking. Whenever I see someone you lot post this online, like it's a good thing to post.
And that's what they do. People, they post these things online. You see them slurping it up online, and then it's called fine dining. They post these stupid, be these women as well and men, but they post these stupid posts in their Sunday best clothing in a restaurant, eating that. It's madness, man. You're wearing your Gucci, whatever the clothes is called, high-end clothing in a restaurant, but you're eating the shit of the sea. Make it make sense, man. It shows you how defiled these people are here, man.
Oh, guys, look at me. I'm eating at a restaurant. Hey, you fucking stupid, man. Go get a parasite cleanse, man. You mash up your stomach. The same way you see cockroach.
It says shrimp feed on dead plant and animal matter on the ocean floor. They're often called bottom feeders for a reason. They eat decaying organic material, algae, plankton, and whatever falls to the seafloor. There you go. So cockroaches feed on dead insects, garbage. So there you go. They're a cleaning agent of the sea. All right? But Esau's marketed it to you as fine dining food. And the killer thing about it, Esau charges people thousands of dollars and thousands of pounds per plate of that crap in high-end restaurants. Make it make sense.
Going through the garbage is when you see shrimp and prawn at the bottom of the ocean eating dead animals and the dead waste that humans dump from ships. Fucking nasty, man. Go wash yourself. You know how much of an idiot you gotta be.
So there you go. So it's still madness. I mean, the information now is out there. It's funny because years back, some few years ago, the NHS, the National Health Service of Britain actually came out and told people to stop eating pork because pork is harmful to the body, etc. And various things they were mentioning regarding pork. All right, how it's destructive to the human body. But it's little too late because Esau, has already destroyed the people with these foods, with these abominable foods. But now he comes out and tells you not to mess with it. But people are stuck in their ways, 20, 30, 40, 50 years eating that crap. So of course they're already poisoned and they're gonna drop dead, man. But that's how the devil works. And really as well, what's funny is that The NHS started coming out with that about 3-4 years ago. But what's funny is that, it coincides with brothers around the globe pushing this knowledge, because we've been coming up with the biblical knowledge not to eat pork, not to eat swine's flesh, not to eat these various different things, So it's no coincidence Esau now comes out and tells you that it's off. Basically, they're watching us, man. They know, we're teaching the truth. So let me read this here. This is Ezekiel 4:13. It says, "And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them." So our people are in and around the different parts of the world we're in, but primarily America, which is Babylon the Great, and we're eating defiled bread. So the food in general is defiled. You know what I mean? The bread, the actual bread itself. The drinking water. Food in general is defiled by the chemicals of Babylon. All right, all over the world, but primarily America, because in America, man, there's things that are in food that aren't even allowed in other parts of the world. So the earth itself is in a decayed state, but there's foods in Babylon. You have to think about it, that aren't even allowed in different parts of the world, man. But Jake over there be eating that, and then on top of that, Jake eat all these abominable foods. And I notice whenever you watch America, it's heavily. Whenever you see, because I check food social media and stuff like that, and I notice prawns and crabs and lobster kind of places are big in America. Like you have a local shop, a crab shack, owned by a Jake or something. They're selling crabs in a bag and shit like that, or crab legs in a bag. I've been seeing stuff like seasoned crab legs in a bag. You can get it in America, just like you can go to a normal sandwich deli. So I notice it's kind of advertised heavy in America, these abominable kind of foods. The bottom feeder type shit, man. Prawns and all that, soft shell prawns with the heads and all this stuff, right? So our people are eating defiled food, whether I will drive them. So the food's defiled, man. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. So our people are just engulfed in eating defiled crap, including this abominable stuff. All right, let me read this here, because there's laws on this. There's Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. He set laws, for these kind of things on purpose. What to eat, what not to eat. We're meant to live by these laws, man. All right, you ain't meant to just do what you want. That's foolishness, man. So this is Leviticus 11:7. It says, "And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be and these laws, by the way, are only for the Israelites, Negroes, Hispanics, Native American descent people. This is who the laws was given to. And it's no wonder that, our people eat abominable foods and get sick. Esau can eat abominations all day. Look at Moab. Moab eat like snake's blood and snake meat and all this type of shit, and they're perfectly fine. It's our people that fuck with these abominations, and it destroys us. Why? Because it's against our laws, against our makeup, our genetic makeup, right? How the Lord created us. We ain't supposed to be doing things that the heathens can get away with, on a fleshly level. So this is Leviticus 11:7. It says, "And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you." All right, this is talking about the swine, the pig, because it says, "Though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud." So there's it's basically the way even this is the specifics of the Lord. He said it doesn't chew the cud, it doesn't graze, basically. Don't eat it, basically. All right, even though it divides the hoof, because like other animals are edible, are lawful, that have divided hoofs. But this is what the Lord said regarding the swine's flesh, so we don't do it. And the swine, the pig, eats absolutely anything. It eats humans, it eats shit, it eats its own kids, different dead carcasses around it eats. All right? It eats absolutely anything, man. It's a literal dustbin of the planet Earth. It's the Hoover of the earth. Okay, and the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed. And you know what? The Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, period, said not to eat this. And that's it. Ain't no arguing it. But that's what our people do. They argue as to reasons why they can break the law, and they enjoy doing it. That's the nature of Jake, man. Okay, Leviticus 11:7, and the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales, so salmon, cod, haddock, we can eat that. Scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall you not eat. So it says, these shall ye eat of all them that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. So we can eat those fishes with fins and scales. It says, and all that have not fins and scales in the sea and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass in abomination. Exactly. So that's the crustaceans, them shellfishes, crab, lobsters. You know, what the hell you got? Even when you see the lobster come to the table, man, buttered lobster, whatever it is. You know, in some restaurants they give you a hammer to break the shell. That alone should tell you you ain't supposed to be eating it. What did the Lord say? What's in the water with fins and scales that we can eat? But what don't have fins and scales, we can't eat. So you see it when you see a damn lobster come to the table. It's like got all this hard shell and all that. It's ridiculous, man. We ain't meant to be eating those things. Okay? And you know, this is another part of the reason as to why this system also, you know, the system of Edom has to be destroyed, because our people are in a fucked up state. They're eating all kind of messed up shit. You know, the world is just out of whack. All right? And the elect, you know, the brothers in the truth, you know, we're sighing and crying, man. We're sighing and crying for the abominations. We're sighing and crying for the wickedness. We're sighing and crying for the bullshit that we're suffering within this world. Okay? But the rest of our people, they ain't. That's why we can't wait till this shit goes down, man. We can't wait, man. You know? And even all these things, like in the next world, you're not going to have to worry about going to, you know, an establishment where we're going to have food. You know, we're going to have food places we can go and eat. And you're not going to have to worry about things being abominable. It's all going to be biblically lawful anywhere we go. You know? So yeah, let me read this here. I'm not going to make this long. Hopefully make this a few more scriptures. So this is Jeremiah. Jeremiah 9:13. He says, and the Lord saith, because they have forsaken my law which I have set before them, and have not obeyed my voice, neither walked therein, but have walked after the imagination of their own heart, and after Baalim, which their fathers taught them. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood, and give them water of gall to drink. I will scatter them also among the heathen, which has happened to us now, whom neither they nor their fathers have known, and I will send a sword after them till I have consumed them. And that's what's happened to our people. The Lord scattered us. The Lord separated us around all the planet Earth, around these different nations. You know, we're eating all these abominable foods wherever we are. It's the curses, man. And why? Because we broke the law. And the majority of our people, the 2/3, they continue to break the law, man. They continue to, you know, not want to change their ways. Now, you know, we know that, see us here at GMS, we're not like pushing, we don't constantly push the law on people. It's about worshiping Yahweh Shai. But the law is part of what we believe. You know, it's like there's things in this system you can do, and there's things obviously that are just out of our power, that like clothing. There's laws on clothing. You can't help what clothes you wear in Esau's system. You know, you can't wear clothes with mixed fabrics and things of that nature. But there's things you can avoid. Eating pig, you can avoid that. Committing adultery, you can avoid that. What's the other ones? Eating crabs and shrimps and whatnot, you can avoid that. So that's what we teach our people. You know, there's things that you can do to clean yourself up while you're in this fucking cesspit waiting for Yahweh Shai. All right? But, you know, a lot of our people are just stuck in their ways, man. You know, the swine's flesh, you know, and especially these women as well. They always want to go and eat in these fine dining restaurants, which they really want to go and eat all these abominations. They want to go spend thousands of pounds on a fucking plate of abominations. It's crazy, man. You know? So, you know, the food law, the law of what we can and can't eat is there for a reason, man. All right? And ultimately, the reason is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai told us what to eat and what we can't eat. We just follow that. Obviously, there's deeper reasons to it. These abominable foods destroy your health, man. They destroy you, man. All right? And it's unlawful. So, you know, with that, I'm going to say all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the hopeful elect Akim that teaching this word. Shalom, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Shalom, shalom.